Hello, welcome to my channel. To wrap up my Weeklong JHope Enlistment stand-up party, man, that's quite a mouthful, I'm going to watch another Boracity Magazine which I found is dedicated to JHope. And I uploaded my reaction, or not exactly reaction, I don't really react that well, as you can see. But I just watched the behind the scene of JHope's preparing for the Lollapalooza in 2022. And Boracity Magazine actually has a video called Hobi Palooza, the debut that broke all records. So without further ado, let's go check it out. Okay, let's go.
I don't care what anyone has to say, July 31st of 2022 was a historic night for the music industry. But what else can we expect from a BTS member? He did not only broke record after record that night, he also showed an outstanding artistic versatility and did something that so many artists are afraid to do. He showed his two sides and was proud of both of them. Recently, I made a video titled JHope's Growth, where I talk about who JHope is as a...
And I also reacted to that one, so somewhere in my playlist. It should be under the BTS playlist, so it's in there somewhere.
An artist, and my main point was that he's one of those artists who are just so naturally talented. But the thing with JHope is that he doesn't stop there. He always wants to grow and grow and grow, and that's what he did. His debut in BTS was amazing, and no one can deny that that is already part of music history.
It's rare to get to work with living legends. I mean, they are young, but they're still at this point living legends.
Then his first solo mixtape, Hope World, was a statement of who he wants to be as an artist. He wants to be the hope of people, but while he does that, he explains the consequences of being such an influential person. So the world he paints, called Hope World, is colorful, beautiful, exciting, and even glamorous. But you can also see the dark side of this world if you don't get fooled by the colorful attractions and actually read the lyrics. And he's not complaining either. He says that this is what he wants. This is his dream. But he's also aware that not everything is as beautiful as it seems. This album is colorful and fun, but the lyrics are dark, and that was intentional. This dark side was explored by JHope in his most recent solo project, Jack in the Box, which has darker visuals and stronger hip-hop and rock sounds. I saw some people saying that this is the real JHope, but I don't think they are paying attention.
I don't think it's a real JHope or the fake JHope. I'm sure she's gonna tell us more about that, but I just feel like people have multiple sides. And depending on your mood or the situation, you might reveal different sides to people.
It was always like this. It was always and still is JHope from Hope World and JHope or Jack from Jack in a Box. He's been saying this all this time. You just have to listen closely to what he's saying. This exploration of both sides of JHope and the connection between them are beautifully represented in his Lollapalooza performance, an event where he became the first Korean artist to headline a major US festival. But before I talk about Hobi Palooza, I want to explain Jack in a Box because it's a necessary step to truly understand his performance.
So let's get into it.
Explain Jack in a Box because it's a necessary step to truly understand his performance.
Intro.
The album's concept revolves around the Greek myth of Pandora's box, a story that is narrated in the intro.
앨범을 이해하기에 앞서 중요한 설명을 해주는
The story of Pandora's box is about Pandora, the first mortal woman created by the god of fire.
Finally, Zeus bestowed two gifts on Pandora:
The trait of curiosity and a mysterious heavy box he instructed her not to open under any circumstances. Inevitably, Pandora...
So, the thing with this, Greek mythology, right? If you are going to give the person the gift of curiosity, then give a box that you'll never open it. Come on, you know exactly what's gonna happen.
Pandora, led by her curiosity, opened the box.
What Zeus had kept inside the box broke loose from their confinement.
And with that, she set free all the evils in the world.
All that was foul was now unleashed upon the world.
As she grieved, she heard a feeble quiver from the box.
She lifted the lid once more and out fluttered a small, bright, most beautiful creature she had ever seen.
The only thing that was left in the box was hope.
Hope gave people the will to carry on living amidst the pain and strife.
So the theme of this album is a continuation of Hope World. This is a world of pain and suffering, but there is still hope. The difference is that Hope World focuses more on hope, while Jack in the Box focuses on the evils on the world, the evils that left the box. First, JHope is the hope in Hope World, and then he is the hope in Pandora's box. His previous music, including Hope World, was him being in the box, but now he can understand and share with the world a little more of his shadows.
그동안의 음악들, 호버드, 치킨 누들 숲, 블루사이드, 여러 가지 믹스테이프 음원들 그것들이 상자 안에 있는 음악이었다면은 세상 밖으로 나와서
In the next track, Pandora's Box, JHope explains how he became the hope in Pandora's box, or in other words, the hope of BTS.
그래서 제 이름의 탄생 비화 그리고 내가 왜 호비고 그리고 이 이름이 나를 어떻게 변화를 시켰고
He basically explains the Greek myth I just mentioned. He says, the good faith given by the great gods to mankind, a ray of light left in the box by Pandora, projected onto an innocent young boy. He is that young boy. He is the hope of BTS. And that title was given to him.
And he is the hope of ARMY. Yes.
In the myth, by the gods, and in real life, by fate. In the curse, he mentions Pandora's hand. This is the hand that can be seen in the album cover. This is why him, Hope, lays in a black and white outfit in Pandora's hand. He says that the first step of his artistic career, Hope World...
Oh, no wonder. When I was reacting Hope World music video, just a few days ago, shame on me, that was the first time I actually watched the whole video. I was seeing that scene looks very familiar, so I guess it was this particular shot.
Black and white outfit in
Yeah,
Pandora's
said
hand.
this
He
one,
says
and
that
I
the
saw
first
this
step
one,
of his
looks
artistic
familiar.
career, Hope World, or in other words, him staying inside the box, was necessary because that allowed him to dream of hope. That's why he quotes himself during Hope World. But now he has lived and he can see through the world. And in other words, the box was open, so now he can recognize the high figures that fire people up. Before, he was the hope in Hope World, but he did not know why. He just knew that he wanted to be hope so bad. He wanted this dream so bad. But now, Pandora opened the box. Now, he has lived and learned about the evils of the world. And with the box already open, he can now finally understand and believe in his name.
First of all, I want to thank Boracity Magazine again for explaining all this to me, because I might enjoy the music, but I'm too lazy. Honestly, I'm too lazy to dive into the details. So I'm very thankful for the reactors, for the content creators out there, such as Boracity Magazine, who can put everything together for me to understand. Thank you very much.
We can see Pandora's box being opened in the next track's music video more. And in this song, we are introduced to another concept the album explores, which is the actual Jack in the Box, a jester clown that jumps out from a box. The expression Jack in the Box is said to have originated from the story of Sir John Scorn. In order to protect the people of Norfolk, the man claimed to have caught the devil and held him captive in his boot. This theory adds up with JHope's album cover, where the design of the letter J is in the shape of a clown boot.
Oh, I didn't know that. That was so cool. That's another thing about BTS. They do their research when they create their content, their music, right? So everything's linked together. There's always meaning in everything that they do. And people like me will never put them together. And again, I want to thank Boracity Magazine for letting me know about all these wonderful connections. I never noticed the J is in the shape of the boot. Even if I noticed that, I would not put two and two together. So, oh my god.
So in the music video, everything happens inside a box. This box has two personas, one in black and one in white. The one in black is said to be Jack, who according to the Jack in the Box story, this is the scary entity that jumps out of the box. And according to the Pandora's Box myth, these are the evils of the world Pandora let free. So JHope in black represents JHope's darkest shadows and thoughts, while JHope in white represents JHope as the hope in Pandora's Box, as a hope of BTS and the world. This is why in his Lollapalooza performance, he performed the darkest songs both lyrically and musically in a black outfit, and the brightest hopeful songs in white. Both versions are JHope. In the music video, Jack is seen in an office space similar to the one in the movie Fight Club, which shows a monotonous, repetitive lifestyle where there is no creativity. And you know that this is Jack because he is wearing black and the main character in Fight Club is also named Jack. So we can see Jack mocking the office manager while the other workers clap at him like he did the funniest thing ever because he's acting like a clown. He is acting like the clown Jack from Jack in the Box. After that, we see Jack getting an X-ray while he raps his most deep desires. This is the most raw version of JHope. The lyrics of More basically say the same thing I mentioned in my last JHope video. He always wants more. He wants to this day perform in stadiums with his fans. He wants the trophies. And even though he knows that fame and money don't mean anything, working on music makes him breathe. So he wants more. There's also a phrase he repeats which is
I'm still.
and this phrase requires cultural interpretation. He's actually not saying that he is a failure and that is why he wants to get better. In Korea, this
That's what I thought. So, shower me with knowledge, please.
phrase is seen as motivation. I'm still not enough is not a negative phrase. Instead, it's a way of saying to oneself that we can be better. See it as I'm not done yet. I'm not saying I'm bad, I'm just saying that I'm motivated to be even better. That's what more is about.
My passion, I gotta go. I'm still.
In the next song, Stop, JHope talks about the evils of the world that were set free when Pandora opened the box. His main thought is expressed in the Korean title of the song, which is, there are no bad people in the world. So he's basically telling others.
There is a Chinese saying about this too. I remember when I was growing up, we have to memorize a lot of old studies. So there's one thing is that when people are born, they are inherently innocent. And that is the beginning of that thing. I don't know exactly how to explain that, but that's pretty much the same meaning. There are no bad people in the world. When we're born, we're all born innocent. And it's the upbringing, the environment that you're in that change your personality. So, but then again, I think recent science will say that, oh no, there's in the genes, but there was ancient Chinese believe that when we're born, we're all innocent. Okay.
To stop fighting because he has the hope that people are not bad by nature.
Yes.
Stop, don't fight.
He starts the song with his personal experience with a friend of his and his conflicting attitudes.
Right. To
then talk about the global issue, he says that he watches the news and sees all the crimes humans commit and he asks himself why. He feels hurt, bitter, and disgusted and wonders how they can be considered humans. But as soon as he thinks that, he says to himself,
Stop, calm, don't.
And then he starts thinking a little more and realizes that maybe they are the victims of their environment, their education, the system, or at least that's what JHope wants to believe.
Please be right.
He says this while we hear conflict in the back. He finishes the song letting people know that small actions lead to big movements that can change the world, reminding us why his name is JHope.
This one thing about BTS lyrics, like when you first read them, you might get something, and you dive into it, you get something else. And when someone else explains it to you, then it's a totally different level. So, okay. That's the song. I think that
JHope
got
continues his
nominated for
reflection
award,
about
right?
humanity in the next song, Equal Sign, which shows his desires for people to be treated equally, regardless of race, culture, nationality, social status, or position.
사람들은 동등할 필요가 있고 평등할 필요가 있고 그냥 사람 위에 사람 없고 사람 밑에 사람 없다 라는 그런 곡이고요.
He says that we all breathe, dream, laugh, and cry the same, and that is why each and every one of us deserves to be respected. He also mentioned that him singing the chorus in English was a deliberate choice to show that even though he's not that good at English, that doesn't stop him.
근데 사실 제가 영어를 잘 못해요. 근데 제가 영어를
You're
한 이유 중에
doing
하나가
fine,
나는 영어를
Hobi.
못하지만 나도 영어를 부를 수 있다.
My English is not a good either. I know I speak with accent. There are a lot of times I cannot remember. There are a lot of times I cannot, like now, right? Get the words I want to say. So.
At the centerpiece of the record is Music Box Reflection, an ominous instrumental that combines heavy breathing with an eerie music box melody, bass drums, and a scratchy beat. It serves as an interlude to the story, allowing its creator to shift lanes from the album's first message-filled half to a more introspective second part.
굉장히 앨범의 중요한 결을 바꾸는 트랙이기도 합니다.
Then, JHope questions what would have happened.
You know what? I've never really dive into the composition of an album. I just listen to the songs. Sometimes I don't even listen to the songs in the album in order. I will shuffle, I will skip, and I will just let whatever. And now I think back. I don't know about the other artists because I never pay attention, It's like the thought that they put into their album. It might be the group album, it might be the solo. The way that the order that they put the songs in the album has great meaning to it. It builds a story, and many, many times me being absent-minded that I can be, it just go over my head until, again, thank you Boracity Magazine for letting me know.
Then, if he wasn't JHope, in the next song, What If?
만약에 내가 희망이 없었다면 내 이름이 제이홉이 아니었다.
The song, which samples old Diddy Buster's song Shimmy Shimmy Ya, explores the question if the regular human being John Hossack, who doesn't have anything, would have been able to tell the stories he can tell as JHope. He says that maybe it's arrogant to think that he would have been able to do so even if he had nothing.
내가 인간 정호석으로서도 그리고 아무것도 없는 보잘것없는 인간 정호석으로서도 내가 이런 이야기와 다를 수 있을까? 굉장히 오만한 부분이 아닌가? 라는 생각을 계속해서 꾸준히 해왔던 것 같아요.
수십 번 내게 질문을 해 Am I really like that? 희망 긍정들 오는 얼굴의 상태
So if one day all the money, fame, wealth, and following get taken from him and he finds himself at rock bottom, will he still be able to say this message of love yourself and have hope?
나 자신을 사랑하고 희망을 가지라는 거 저 모든 게 박탈이 되고 밑바닥에도 말할 수 있을까 너
That is the question he has for himself in What If.
I have nothing
In the next track, Safety Zone, we find JHope hunting for a secure spot where he can fully unwind and unload.
흔히 말하는 게임 속에서도 안전지대가 있던데 내 인생에는 안전지대는 과연 무엇일까? 어디일까?
Where's my safe joint? 왼쪽 오른쪽 go straight What's my safe joint? 이겨 저거 or axe
And let's remember that this is Jack talking. These are his deepest, darkest thoughts. JHope says maybe his safe zone are the cheers of people who believe in him. But Jack answers that he'll feel cold when they turn their back on him. JHope says that maybe his safe zone is the people who led him. But Jack tells him to think carefully because he is still afraid. JHope says that maybe his safe zone is his family, someone he shares blood with. But Jack says that there's a mission or common goal that they don't share. They don't understand his passion for music. This is why JHope keeps asking himself, where is his safe zone? And does it even exist? So if Jack keeps bringing JHope's darkest fears and anxieties, what is his purpose? Why is he here? Why should JHope be proud of something so negative? Weeklong Magazine wrote, Jack in the Box seems as though it acts as a mental stamp or safe zone from which JHope can conduct personal reflection. He leaves his inner Jack out of the box, his safety zone, and takes a look at himself. Jack may come across as JHope's dark side for the spooky mood he exudes, but he actually appears to be a guy who helps JHope towards self-reflection. This self-reflection is explored in future. A children's choir sing the chorus of the song Future, representing a group of people who have a long future ahead of them. In this song, JHope knows that the future cannot be determined. The closer it is, the scarier it gets, and it's harder to deal with alone. He doesn't deny reality or try to escape it. Instead, he chooses to be the most suitable and tries to fight for himself and as himself. He would rather have a future that looks necessary to him and finds hope through courage and faith.
뭔가 이 세상의 흐름을 거스르지 않고 그냥 한번 강물처럼 흐르면 흐르는 대로 한번 살아보자. 그냥 있는 그대로의 내 모습을 마주하며 어떠한 뭐 방황이 있건 뭐 풍파가 있건 시련이 있건 그 내 자신이 또 해결해 나가면서 한번 살아보자.
This is the brightest track of the album, and even though it's not completely optimistic and upbeat, it's still a comforting message to himself, which carries a hopeful future. The last song and lead single of the album is Arson. Here, we first see the hopeful version of JHope, the one in a white outfit, realizing that his burning passion and desires burn everything around him.
나는 그냥 내 스스로가 나를 위해서 불을 지폈는데 이게 세상이 불타있고 모든 사람들이 너무나도 뜨거워져 있고 그래서 그거 내 열정의 불씨를 터뜨렸던 거를 계속 불을 지필 것인가 끝낼 것인가.
The fire represents fame, money, and popularity, all things he already accomplished. That's why he's done everything already. And this fire, this success, brought out the Jack in him. His hopeful self in the white outfit was burned by this fire, by this success. And now he is in between. His outfit is black and white, so he asks himself, let's keep burning or is it done?
Burn, burn, it's done, done.
But there is still this desire to keep everything burning. He still wants more. This is why he just turned his most deep thoughts into an album. Making art based in self-reflection is likely a long-standing desire for both JHope and BTS. It's a desire for all artists, one that, like the hope that remains in Pandora's box, won't disappear even after everything else has burned to the ground.
Done, done, done.
Jack in the Box is considered JHope's official debut, since this is his first solo album. Hope World was a mixtape, while Jack in the Box was promoted as a proper first album.
믹스테이프에서 솔로 앨범으로
The single cover of More, as well as the Jack in the Box cover, were part of an official collaboration with the American artist and designer COS. And if you know, this is very special because the members of BTS have been fans of him for years. They love showing their collections of his characters, and this meant a lot to JHope.
뭐 웃음이 나오죠 자동적으로 뭔가 미소가 나오는 너무 유명하잖아요 카오스라는 아티스트가. 그래서 이번 앨범에 그만큼 제가 그동안 좋아했었던 그리고 진심이었던 그런 아티스트에게 부탁을 해서 협업을 해서 한번 같이 해보고 싶다라는 마음을 했었던 것 같아요.
JHope was not only heavily involved in the songwriting process, but also the creative process. So he made sure to match the themes of the album with the content related to the album.
정말 앨범 기획부터 시작해서
creative.
비주얼, 뮤직비디오 디렉팅도 그렇고 앨범 아트워크도 그렇고 정말 여러 가지 부분으로 제 손을 하나하나 다 거쳐갔었던 것 같아요 이번 앨범이.
He decided to have simple black and white outfits that represent the two sides he is exploring. They represent the crossroad of choices.
선택의 기로를 보여주고 싶었기 때문에 그거를 의상 속에서도 블랙 앤 화이트로 많이 녹인 것 같아요.
The black hat was designed by himself and represents the clown that is part of Jack in the Box.
직접 디자인을 한 모자도 착용을 했고 그 모자가 사실 어떻게 보면은 시각적으로 더 플러스를 시켜주고 더 그 의미를 극대화시켜서
He also organized a listening party in Korea
Yes.
with some of his friends from the industry, one day before the release of the album. And of course, the guys of BTS were there, except for Suga, who then said he couldn't go because he felt a little ill and was afraid it was COVID. But don't worry, he ended up being fine and he's healthy. JHope also designed a very creative physical album which folds in the form of a box.
And there were a lot of controversy about not having. I think that the album was more of a digital type of thing.
Also, there are visualizer videos for every song on Bangtan TV's YouTube channel. So if you want to listen to the songs while reading the lyrics and watch fun visuals, now you can. These count as official streams. So try to avoid those useless color-coded videos.
Oh,
This
yes.
album made JHope the highest charting Korean soloist, and he joins BTS as the
Thank
only
you, I didn't
Korean
know that.
act to enter Spotify's Global Top Artist Top 10. He is also the first gay soloist ever to enter the top 50, and the first Korean act to headline a major US event.
Yes. JHope, Hobi Palooza.
This album and the two sides of JHope are beautifully represented in his Lollapalooza performance, where he makes a distinction of JHope in black and JHope in white. The day is July 31st of 2022, only 2 weeks after the release of the album. JHope is expected to perform from 8:50 to 10 p.m. Fans have been waiting since the day before for a chance to be at the front of the stage. The rest of American armies are watching the performance on Hulu, and more than 60 million people from around the world are watching the performance for free through Weverse.
Yes.
And just so you can understand the magnitude of this performance, one of the partners of Lollapalooza and the mayor of Chicago introduced JHope on the festival's main stage.
Of course we were.
And then the performance starts. The setlist has been carefully created by JHope, who has been heavily involved in the creative process of both the album and the concert. And you will notice that the setlist is cohesive and makes so much sense.
Yes.
We can listen to the Jack in the Box intro explaining the story of Pandora's Box. Then, JHope jumps out of Pandora's Box and sings the pre-release single More in a black outfit. He then raps about how he became the Hope in Pandora's Box, and basically the Hope in BTS. This song opens the door to Baseline, which explains with further detail the baseline of JHope's music, movement, life, and success. If you want more specific explanations of his older songs, you can watch my JHope's growth video. I explain everything there.
Thank you.
Since he's talking about the baseline, or in other words, the starting point of his career, he raps his verse from Cypher Part 1, the oldest BTS cypher from 2013. And since he's already talking about BTS, the next song he performs is Hangsan. This is a tribute to BTS from his first mixtape, Hope World. Then he talks for the first time.
JHope for BTS. But you can call me Jay. A lot of you may be seeing me for the first time today.
He then sings Piece of Peace, a song where he wishes to be the piece of peace for people. So if this song is so positive, how can it be in the first half of the concert, if he's wearing black and he's singing the darkest songs? Because if you read the lyrics, you will note that he confesses that this is a world of mistakes and suffering, and that is his motive to deliver courage, strength, and hope. This is the perfect song to have next to his first speech introducing himself, because this song explains why he is called JHope. He continues the message of peace in the next song, Equal Sign, which shows his desires for people to be treated equally. He then tells people to stop with the fights and conflicts, so we can all be part of the blue side, a beautiful and calm place where we can feel safe. You know, a safety zone. But like I said before, he doesn't know where this safety zone is. What if it doesn't exist? And of course, JHope pays tribute to the artist he samples, putting his face in the big screen. He then performs the album's main single, Arson, where he raps about his burning passions and desires.
It's
After this
amazing.
song,
It's
he
so
gets inside the
well
box again, and we can hear Music Box
constructed.
Reflection, which marks the first half of the concert. And then Hope comes out of Pandora's box in a white outfit to perform the happy BTS song Dynamo Tropical Remix with a fresh new choreography. Then JHope talks again,
Yeah, thirsty.
and then he submerges you into the daydream that is being in BTS, to then sing his BTS solo song Ego with the choreography we are familiar with. He then welcomes you to his Hope World with a new choreography never seen before. He talks a little more,
I was here on BTS tour 3 years ago.
Yes, girl.
The next song
It was raining
is
too, I
when I
believe.
performed for you back then.
and performs a song we are already familiar with, his BTS solo song Just Dance. Then JHope performs the long-awaited chicken noodle soup with Becky G for the first time. And of course, he gives a shout out to the original artist.
Shout out to DJ Reptar and Young before the track.
Becky says a few words,
As an artist, this moment right here means so much to me because I am not only so honored to be here, but also so proud.
and then JHope has his last speech in Korean.
순간에 이겨낸 제 자신에게 약간 낯간지럽지만 정말 자랑스럽다고 말해드립니다.
You should be
Finally,
proud of
JHope
yourself.
performs Future, a calm song where he sees at his future with hopeful eyes. Here ends the headlining performance of Lollapalooza's main stage. I love this new JHope, or maybe not new, but a little more open.
Make some motherfucking noise! Okay, play this shit. What the fuck? You guys are fucking crazy.
The
He used a
locals
lot
and the
of-
staff's reactions were priceless. You can see the multiple comments on Lollapalooza's subreddit by non-fans that found themselves enjoying the performance and getting surprised by ARMY's energy and the ARMY bombs. I also love how JHope carried BTS with him throughout his performance. He could have kept himself as independent from BTS as much as possible, but instead he referred to his fans as ARMY.
And he's the JHope of BTS.
Army.
He introduced himself as JHope from BTS.
I'm JHope from BTS.
He performed BTS songs, he put BTS pictures on the big screen, and he mentioned Chicago itself in relation to BTS.
I was here on BTS tour 3 years ago.
He also interacted with Jimin, who flew from Korea to see his performance and show him support. And my favorite thing of this whole performance was the fan chants, because there was not a lot of time for ARMYs to familiarize ourselves with this album. Before Lollapalooza, we had 30 days with More, and only 2 weeks with Arson and the other 8 tracks of the album. So you would think that these new songs wouldn't get as much fan chants as the other older songs, especially since they are fast raps in Korean, and this is a US music festival. But that didn't happen. Everyone was screaming so loud and knew the lyrics of not only Hope World and the BTS songs, but also a 2-week-old album.
Because ARMY's amazing.
What? Sing it.
Also, JHope broke so many records that night. JHope became the first Korean artist to headline a major US festival. And listen to that closely. It's not only Korean solo artists, it's Korean artists in general. There was not a single Korean group or solo artist to headline an event like this. The announcement came at a time where festival goers were already buying tickets, despite having no artist lineup, so tickets were already on sale. But as soon as JHope was announced as the headliner, the website to buy tickets exploded, and for the first time in history, Sunday tickets were sold out first, since his performance was scheduled to be on a Sunday. This performance also was JHope's official debut, since this is the first time ever he performed as a solo artist.
Yes.
So this is also the biggest debut of a Korean artist, and I would say it's also one of the biggest debuts in general ever, because who else can say that their debut performance was headlining a major
Right?
US festival? Lollapalooza knew what kind of public ARMY is, so they had a merch booth specifically dedicated for JHope, and half of the overall festival's merch was JHope merch. More than $1 million worth of merch was sold on the festival.
This is probably the very first time that I have ever seen Seed Represents have a merchandise booth for one artist by the main stage. This is just nuts. Like I was at Coachella, it wasn't like this for Harry Styles at all. It wasn't like this for Metallica here or Dua Lipa.
His performance drew a total of 105,000 music fans on the main stage, and JHope became the highest ticket-selling artist in Lollapalooza's history. Finally, after proving himself as an artist and breaking all these records, he went to his hotel room and turned on Billy with his friend and bandmate Jimin to thank ARMYs now as a newly minted maker of history.
So that was Hobi Palooza, the debut that broke history. It was great, and I've learned so much about the whole thing because I enjoy BTS music. I enjoy their solo project as well. But I never put in the thoughts to connect everything together. It was amazing, and I can't believe we're not gonna see Hobi for the next 18 months. But they're gonna come back 2025, so we're gonna be fine. In the meantime, we're gonna listen to their song, we're gonna stream their songs, watch their videos, and wait for their return in 2025. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye.